What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and on this channel I talk about cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and economics. Today's video, I'm going to look at a yield farming strategy on the Avalanche network that uses a combination of BenQi, YieldYak, and Trader Joe. In this specific strategy, I'm going to look at farming Link, but you could actually use the same strategy for AVAX, Wrapped BTC, or Wrapped Ethereum. And the cool thing about this strategy is that it's going to allow you to increase the size of your bag in an asset without gaining too much exposure to other assets and without too much risk of liquidation. Let's get into it. So the first thing that we're going to do is provide our in this case Link, but like I said, you could do any of these other assets as collateral on BenQi. So let's see, I'll provide all of the Link that I bought for this example, about just over 50 Link. So make sure you check off use as collateral, and you can see that we'll be able to borrow up to 50% of the value of this Link. And then the cool thing about this is just for providing it as collateral, we're going to get 2.23 plus 15.41% interest. So just for providing it, we're already getting over 17% interest. Pretty nice. Confirm the transaction. Yeah, so what we're going to do, while we wait for that, I'll start explaining. What we're going to do next is, now that we have this collateral provided, so about $1,500 worth of Link, what we're going to do is hop over to borrow and borrow against that. So here is where you have to be careful about liquidation, but the thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to borrow the same asset. So you don't want to borrow 100%, but we're going to do 90% of the value, because since we're borrowing Link against Link, the chance of liquidation is lower because the value of the tokens that we have to repay would go down with the value of our collateral. So we're going to borrow about $669 worth of Link. And then the cool thing about this is that it costs 7% interest to borrow this, but we are actually receiving rewards in the form of Chi and AVAX for doing this. So we're getting paid 35%. So that difference, which is about 28%, you pocket that. So you're actually earning interest on this Link that you're borrowing. So we'll do that. Alrighty, confirm the transaction. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take this Link and we're going to use it to provide liquidity on Trader Joe. So this will allow us to earn even more interest on this Link that we've now borrowed. So just to recap, so far we've supplied 52 Link as collateral. We've borrowed, let's see, where does it say exactly how many we borrowed? Okay, yeah, so we borrowed, I can see in my wallet, we've borrowed just over 23 Link, and then we're going to put those into a pool on Trader Joe to earn even more interest on that. So before we do that, just to look at YieldYak, you can see there are other Link farms you can do on here too. You could do Link AVAX if you wanted. We're going to do Link USDT just because it's got that sick 552% compound APY. This isn't going to last forever. It's already come down about half from this morning, but as a farmer, you have to make hay while the sun shines, so we're going to make hay. I will call out one thing you could do here is you could take that Link that you borrowed and just plunk it down in this BenQi single-sided pool here for 31% APY, a bit more conservative, but if your priority is capital preservation and just modestly increasing the size of your Link bag, you'd still be earning between the 28% from here and the 27% from here. You'd still be earning about 55% interest on your borrowed Link, which is pretty good, especially when it's a loan. But we are going to do something a little bit more aggressive So what I will do is convert half of my link to USDT. Did I do that math right? Yes, I did. So transactions pending, and then once we get the liquidity pool tokens for this, we'll hop back over to YieldYak and deposit those there. While we're waiting for this, one thing I don't want to click on it because I don't want to. Actually, I can open it in a new tab. But one thing I'll call out is that Trader Joe has this cool function called Zap. You can't use it for that pool specifically, but basically what it lets you do is go from one token, for example, Joe, AVAX, Link, etc., directly into a liquidity pool. So rather than having to split it in half and then combine it, you can just zap it from token to liquidity pool. Pretty cool feature. Alright, so this is done loading, and we can make the swap. This is actually my first time using Trader Joe, so this is exciting. I've been more of a pangolin guy for the past few months on Avalanche. Cool, so we have our tokens now and we can pool. Let's see, we'll search for Link. Prove it. So for some reason this APR is showing as different than YieldYak. Not sure why. I'll trust the YieldYak one for now. Deposit it on there. Yeah, this is the Trader Joe. Supply it. Confirm. Now I'm just going to go through the whole thing. If this is tedious for you, feel free to skip ahead, but I'm going to go through the whole process for people who have never done this before and might want instruction. Alright, so now that we have our token, now that we have our liquidity pool tokens, we can deposit them in here. Alright, so this is loading now, and then that's the last step. So we now have our borrowed link converted into this liquidity pool token on Trader Joe and then deposited on YieldYak to earn this very, very nice 552% APY. Last thing I'll mention is, I forgot to say this before, but on BenQi, to claim your rewards, just go over here to the rewards section. And so all the rewards from your loans will start to appear here, and you can claim them. Cool, so that is the strategy. Now let's see exactly what this would yield in total. So hopping over to Excel, you can see on BenQi, this is assuming we deposited $1,000 of Link, but the percentages would stay the same. So you would earn 17.6% just for supplying liquidity to the protocol and using that as collateral. Then on top of that, you would earn another 28% on the things that you borrowed. For this example, I borrowed 90% of the allowed 50%, so that would be 45% total, giving a net borrow API of 28%. And then when you combine those two, so 28% on the 45%, and then the 17.6%, that comes out to right around 30%. 30% APY. And so that's pretty nice by itself, but then Additionally, we have the additional interest, the 188% simple APR that we're earning on this liquidity pool that we borrowed from, that we used the borrowed link to create. And so then that combined with this would give us about 114% total APY. And then just running some basic estimation calculations, that would mean that monthly you'd earn about 95% or just over 3 link, weekly $22, and daily you'd earn about $3 of link. If instead you put in $10,000 into this strategy, you could expect to earn about a link a day. So not bad if you're looking to increase your link stack. So that is the strategy today. Like I mentioned, you could also use this strategy for Ethereum. You could do the exact same thing, or even Wrapped Bitcoin. You could do this for. I think it's a pretty good way to earn some passive income on a coin that you might already have on the Ethereum network and you don't want to sell, but you might want to use it as collateral to borrow something and then earn some passive income on that. And the nice thing is that these rewards that you get over on BenQi, that they're in Qi and AVAX, so you can get some exposure to the Avalanche ecosystem too. I suppose you could also sell them and reinvest them back into the pool, but if you also want to get some exposure to the Avalanche ecosystem, this could be a good way to do that. Let me know what you guys think. Are any of you going to try out this strategy? Do you have any ideas to modify the strategy? And do you think that this is a good idea? Do you think it's too risky? That's all for today. If you like the video, be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.